I have about 6,000 hours in the Counter-Strike series overall. Probably around 3,000 in CSGO, something like that. So I am not the best CSGO player of all time, obviously, but I have played a lot of CS, and I like learning things about the game, because like you always think you know something, and then you learn like, oh, there's like this crazy smoke, or oh, there's this crazy wall bang. And the cool thing is like it's the same game usually kind of between all the versions, but there's all these like tiny little things that make each version so much different. So I'm curious to see what these myths are. By the way, it's by Vu CSGO, and this just popped up in my recommended. I haven't really studied CSGO in quite some time, and I did watch like the first minute of this past the promotion, so just a warning, I know a little bit, like obviously the silencer thing. That's kind of where I stopped. I'm like, I gotta watch this with you guys. So I'm curious to see what else I'm gonna learn, because I always like learning weird things.
The first myth is that pulling the pin on your flashbang makes noise, which it doesn't. It's actually the release, and then you can quick switch that makes noise.
So this is something I never knew. I honestly thought when I was pulling my nades out
Except
and
for
walking around it was bad.
Molotovs that do make noise when you hold the pin.
Okay, so I mean Team
This one
Molotov
is
does though.
actually insanely effective because if you do it like this, not quite like that. By like this, I mean if you release the flash, then instantly press G before it actually throws. It'll make the noise, and it'll look like a flashbang is being thrown for someone looking at you as you're doing it.
Oh, okay.
It's not that easy, though.
So he's saying, like, there's a sound when you throw the grenade, not when you pull the pin, except for the Team Molotov, but it does sound like he's actually throwing the grenade. Okay, that's kind of like, you know, you're playing for 20 hours a day and you pull this out. This isn't something that everyone's gonna do, just being honest. You know what I mean? Like... Okay, wait, he actually did throw a flashbang, though. I'm actually confused. Whatever, I understand. Oh, this is it. Okay, so that made the sound where it's like someone threw a grenade. That's kind of broken. I understand it. So this is a hard trick. I mean, he's not even in a real game, and it took him like 10 tries. So not the easiest trick.
Next one is seeing someone on the radar through a door. I can see one right now, which he can't.
Wait, really? I feel like that is not true. Did he even shoot?
The next one is seeing someone on the radar through a door. Oh, I couldn't see one right now.
Okay, no, I think... Okay. I think he means, like, if you see somebody, they pop up on the radar. And if you're looking at someone who's behind a door, like, if you know they're there, for example, or you think they're there, that they won't pop on the radar. I think that's true. I thought he meant, like, if you're behind a door, you will not pop up on the radar at all. Okay, so that one obviously makes sense because the character's not seeing.
Which he can't. And flashes that are too far away don't actually blind your opponents, which they don't.
Yeah.
Although long is weird, this is very noticeable.
I mean, come on. If you've been playing the game for like 500 hours, you would know that, like... Okay, let's see what they do.
Mirage, you may not...
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Like, if you're going to do a long-range flashbang, at least, like... Okay, like, in the window there, he should have... The guy in the window, like, imagine the window's here, and the guy is here. He should have turned left, threw the grenade here, instead of, like, out that way. He threw it, like, out that way, and if he threw it out this way, it would have went closer to mid. At least maybe a better chance, but usually you just throw a smoke or something. I don't know, it's not really the best play, but okay, it's good to know, I guess.
Have even realized why you died.
But long A is so obvious. I mean, there's no way they're gonna get flashed. You have to throw the flash at the site.
Then...
This one right here, I'm just gonna say, if you think about the application of this, there's so many places on so many maps where if you're on CT's side, people might not, like, because people are used to seeing the M4 silencer, like when you're walking around and peeking around corners. But if you don't, okay, it basically makes the model smaller, and I didn't realize that was actually a thing. Just watch.
Pulling the silencer off of your M4 is supposed to make the gun shorter. You can see here the silencer is sticking out, super easy kill. Whereas if he removes the silencer, the gun is less accurate. But you can't see.
I mean, think of the application of this. Just like if you're walking around, you can peek. I feel like you can push more and like be stealthier, because like imagine I've seen so many situations where somebody is like camping, right, and they're waiting for people to come, and they're checking, they don't hear anything, and they see people walk by, but they usually see like the gun first. But if you take the silencer off, I feel like that still gives you the chance to get the camper who knows you're coming. Like I just never ever knew that.
Of the gun.
I've seen the 3 clicks Philip video, I'm pretty sure. 2 clicks, 3 clicks, where he talks about, silencer is basically bad, right? There's almost like no reason to use it, and now there's a reason to like remove it. There actually is a reason to remove it now. I never knew that.
Next is nade smoke, which is something people don't realize is kind of busted if you watch from both perspectives here.
Yeah, I've known that. I mean, it's not really like obviously like, okay, this is a broken thing. Like, people don't say that, but if you've been in, there's like this situation for sure, like where you can't really see like the side, so you don't see someone coming. Like the nade itself, yeah, is pretty obnoxious, to be honest.
Holy shit, it's super good.
And some people think different mollies do different amounts of damage, which they used to do, but no longer do.
Okay, because I actually remember seeing a video about that. A long time ago.
This one is really interesting, is shooting them in the legs does more damage. And this is very relevant on pistol rounds when someone's defusing with their back turned. You're not hitting them in the head. It's about 8 shots with the USP to the body to kill them. However, if you shoot them in the legs don't have armor, and so it's 4 or 5 shots.
That is massively more.
And it's way easier. The problem is, you look like an idiot trying to shoot them in the legs in a
That's a
real
lot more
game.
than 4 shots. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so
Incon on the right.
Well, I hit him in 4 shots in the legs. But it does work. It does work. Misclick.
Whoa.
Bro, the legs. This guy was fucking top mid. I 4-shotted him in the legs.
It made his fall animation.
I literally gave this guy 115 and 4 from window to top mid boxes.
So that's pretty interesting, because like if you play the game, like the number one thing is like aim at the head, and then if you have like an op or a scout, sometimes it's like, okay, aim for the body, but then it's usually like in your mind it's like, okay, always aim like here and up, like you want at least here. So if you're aiming here, the recoil is going to hit up here usually, but I guess aiming at the feet actually isn't a bad thing. Now, obviously, you try to hit feet if they're like, on train or something, you can see their feet or something, but you can't shoot their body. Sometimes you can still shoot their feet. Like, that is kind of like a rare situation, but typically you don't shoot feet in a normal fight, but I guess now it's actually not a bad thing for pistol, like he said. Okay, nades can one-shot. I'm curious about this because I don't know any proof, but one of my friends who played a lot of 1.6, he was telling me they can one-shot. I don't know if they can in CSGO. I don't know. I don't think so.
One-shot people, which is technically true, but
wait, what? It actually worked?
Extremely hard to actually do.
Wait, what? You can actually... Wait, I didn't know that was actually real. Okay, so you have to get hit by it. Is that what it's going on?
And while testing this, I found out that nades that land higher do more damage.
Wait, really?
And then if I land it high, I gotta dunk it on them.
Which makes logical sense that nades that land at the feet are losing some of their usage,
so 54
but
is the highest damage
I'm not sure too many people know this.
Well, I would imagine that, like, if it's hitting near the head, it's gonna do more damage just because like headshots are usually instant kill. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But that's kind of interesting because typically, like when I'm playing, I usually want to land the nade like right in front of them. Like that's what I'm thinking. But I guess it's not such a bad thing to like throw it above their head because like that 5 HP is a big difference. You know what I mean? Sometimes you hit them through the head through a wall, they have 95 HP. Or I don't know, for example, maybe you only did 45 damage and then they have 55. So instead of doing 50 damage, you can do 55 with your nade, you know, if you throw it high. Listen, I'm just going to try to pause less.
Next up is you're more accurate at the peak of your jump.
This used to be true, I swear to God.
You can clearly see here, especially when I slow it down. And the following is that you are fully accurate with the scout while no-scoping, which isn't the case. However, you are pretty damn accurate. And as it turns out, it doesn't look like you can get a decoy to glitch squeaky doors very easily, if at all, although that one is one to prove in a later video.
Wait, this guy's just no-scoping the whole time?
And we also discovered that it's very hard to land 2 Molotovs on top of one opponent.
Alright.
Next up is chickens can block a flashbang, which is extremely hard to do intentionally. This is more of an accidental thing.
Yeah.
But it is actually completely true.
Whoa. I mean, okay, this is gonna be like a 1 in 10,000 thing that will happen to you, if it ever happens to you. I didn't know that. I love learning these little things. That's why I wanted to watch this with you guys.
Extremely hard.
No way, that actually happened in a real game?
Just
Hold up.
hard.
Hold on. What?
And also you can nade fish in the pond and most of them will all die.
I think I knew that.
Next up is the shotgun doesn't have random spread.
Wait,
Although there is
what?
randomness in the actual spread of each bullet, the spread itself isn't random, and with shotguns it can be more effective to not aim at the head. In fact, aiming slightly off of the player is the optimal way to kill people with certain shotguns, which is kinda dumb. To be honest, it's really dumb. But they are pretty strong though.
So I thought it was like, I mean, okay, I haven't really studied every single recoil pattern, because like, who studies the recoil pattern of the shotgun, if you know what I mean? But I always thought the spread was like here's the area, and then there's random bullets within this, and if you aim at them, normally you're just gonna hit them anyway. So I didn't know it was like, okay, here, and then obviously it's gonna just differ a little bit depending on how, like, the last time you shot, I guess you could say, because the weapon's kind of like still moving. But I didn't know it was like that. It's like set in place. Interesting.
Pressing E on chickens will make them follow you. In fact, it'll bring them into the next round.
Wait, the next round?
But I recommend everyone kill all chickens on Inferno. And
Chickens are actually, because don't they like balk? Wait, I hope he covers that, because I swear, if you run into a chicken, it balks, so that like reveals enemies all the time, I swear.
jumping up and down, you won't make noise after the second jump.
You're not hearing my jumps here, are you?
Yeah, jump better, bro. But you have to do it right. Usually with...
Okay, so I've heard this before, like when I'm playing. Sometimes you kind of have to be going slow. And it's only useful if you're like peeking something, but usually it's when you're going way below, I think it's 350. I think you can go 350 to 400 something units without it like making you slow down. So I think you have to be, and this happens like around, I want to say like 2 something. So you're going real slow, but you can jump around without making sound. I've done this before.
Control wheel. Following is that nades can block damage. which is completely
A little
true,
bit lower.
but hard to do intentionally as well.
Big flash.
Yeah, 3 clicks. Philip did that. Okay, wait. Let's see this. Wait, did he block himself?
Following as you walk faster with your knife, you can see what the Glock is.
Come on, how did nobody know this?
Knife 130, auto sniper.
Oh yeah, 130. Wait, I don't remember if that's the actual
111, it is
speed.
noticeably different. And after that,
I thought it was like 350. Wait, what are we looking at?
fully accurate
Velocity? Okay. Because there's like units per second or something, and that's different.
crouch walking, which is something people don't know. It's not even about crouching, it's about the velocity. If you're moving a very slow speed while standing, you're also fully accurate. Smoke's mask diffuse sounds is another myth.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mask the sound. But
Yeah, and we kind of knew that. Flashbangs do. If you fully flash them, they can't hear anything.
This, but it's not true. And opponents can block flashbangs. You would think if chickens can, opponents also can, but they can't. And diffusing gives you more money. Actually, being the diffuser gives you an extra 300, and diffusing the bomb itself as a winning round does also give your entire team slightly more money.
Okay.
The bomb can kill you on B on Inferno. It'll do 1 damage if you have armor, but it will kill you if you don't have armor.
What? Wait, did he have 1 HP? What was that?
It'll do 1 damage.
Okay, here's what. I didn't realize that. Whoa, that's like.
Bomb can kill you on B on Inferno.
But he's not on B. He's in banana. Like, you have to be on the site, but still, I get it. It's funny.
It'll do 1 damage if you have armor.
I think that was
but
like
it
as
will
far
kill
as
you if
possible.
You don't have armor, and you have 1 health. And decoys can create one-ways inside of smokes. It doesn't happen every time, but it can happen. And
To add on to this, because I feel like, I mean, this isn't the longest video. To add on to this, light fixtures, they kind of give you like wall hacks. You can kind of like see when someone blocks a light fixture. Maybe they already patched it out. I mean, I haven't really looked at the patch notes in a long time, but for a while, Molotovs would give you one ways, like in Office. It would happen all the time if you ever played Office. They have a smoke and you throw a Molotov. You can see them in the freaking window in Garage. You can see through the smoke. You can see them, like, only briefly, but you can. It's like actual wall hacks. It makes no sense, but like what he's kind of talking about, like decoys, you know, they kind of do the same thing. I think the biggest one is like light fixtures. You don't need any extra nades for that. So like on a Mirage in Palace, you can see people like walk past the light fixture.
I've seen this used at the pro level.
Oh yeah, see, it kind of looks like that. But on if you use a Molotov correctly, it just like lights up. It's like the smoke's not even there.
Different nades make different sounds on the wall. Can you hear a difference between smokes and flashes?
Yeah, flashbang is like a little bit quote-unquote brighter. You know, it's got some high ends in it, and maybe the pitch is just a little bit higher. Smoke is a little bit darker. I mean, it's not, I mean, whatever, it's a little not super important for actual gameplay, I guess.
I think I can hear it.
Yeah. The flash is way
Bomb
brighter.
explosion does more damage to the back. This one, plenty of people have already disproven, but it doesn't. 16 damage to the front, 16 damage to the back. The bomb will be more
Okay. So that one is actually useful to me because, I mean, I guess I always faced away from the bomb, but in this case, it would always be, I mean, unless like you're trying to get into a certain spot where you actually have to turn around. Like maybe there's like a little cubby or something and it'll save you enough damage. But like, I guess the thing to know is like you should just always face the bomb. just because even though you're trying to hide and the round's over, you know, just in case someone's alive, you know, you're gonna see them. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to hide
More damage
and get
to
away
you if
from the
you have
bomb.
no armor, and it's actually a lot more damage, twice as much. Pulling out your knife makes noise. It doesn't. And
Wait, really? No.
swiping makes noise, which it does.
No way. Dude, it's really misleading. The sounds. Because, like, I thought pulling the nades out, like, people would hear that. I thought pulling the knife out for sure. I always thought pulling the knife out, people heard that.
2 mollies do more damage than 1, which is true.
Wait, okay. This, I'm actually curious.
It's actually significant. The problem is, how do you get 2 mollies to land on 1 person? It's not very easy, as you'll see. You do melt them extremely fast.
Huh.
But we
I never thought they stacked.
had to bribe this guy to let him do it. Next up, opening the door backwards is something you can actually do intentionally. Either
Oh, that worked better than
by having
Whoa.
your teammate look the opposite direction as you press it, or standing in front of it.
Okay, that I never knew. I knew you could do that, but I didn't know there was actually a way how. Wow, okay. Dude, I love this video.
Doing a really good fake flash isn't that
Yo,
easy.
fake flash, fake flash.
And
Wait. Why is this a myth? Oh, that's just a thing he added. Because I was gonna say, a fake flash isn't always something you do. He just added it. I thought it was a myth.
And finally, silent jumps exist.
Yeah, they do.
They actually don't. There is no such thing as a silent jump.
Wait,
Jump-
really?
Jumping sound makes a noise,
On the outside.
and the landing sound makes another noise.
Wait, when he just jumped up, didn't it make no noise?
So although you can jump almost silently, there is no such thing as a fully silent.
Okay. So this one so this is where I was like, yeah, if you jump real, like, under the speed limit, you'll be fine.
Silent jumps exist.
I was wrong.
They actually don't. There is no such thing as a silent jump. The jumping sound makes a noise,
On the outside.
and the landing sound makes another noise.
Okay, the landing sound, I feel like you can minimize the noise at least a lot, to the point where it's like you can't really hear it, but I think the jump is gonna, I mean, like, for actual gameplay purpose, I feel like the jump is gonna be relatively silent, because if you think about it, nobody's gonna crank up their volume to absolute max, because it would hurt so much if you heard like a gunshot, right? I mean, until there's like a compressor thing put into the game, or like that you can add on without getting banned, or like that is supported by the game, I feel like it's going to be silent until then, but that's kind of interesting that it's not actually.
Although you can jump almost
See, I thought that was a silent jump, but I guess if you really crank up the volume, you can hear that.
silently, there is no such thing as a fully silent jump.
Okay, that's
Just a
what
quick addition, I saw a professional player once say that you can't see shadows if you're scoped in, which is true, but only if your shadow settings are on low, which they shouldn't be. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.
Alright guys, well, I definitely learned some things. I mean, when you see like CSGO myth busting videos, it's usually like a whole bunch of things you just like hope that you learn something that you didn't know before, and it's usually a whole bunch of the same stuff over and over and over and over again, because there's these tiny little things about CSGO or Counter-Strike in general that are just like so interesting, especially if you play the game. But I was pleasantly surprised by this video, to be honest. I'm gonna give it a like. Guys, I'm gonna suggest that you go ahead and check this out if you don't already check out CSGO. Pretty cool guy, makes pretty cool videos. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.